Hey guys, this is Illusion Podfic, and today we're going to be reading And Then There's You by Hate Save. The summary is, I'm going to be telling everyone your dirty little secret. They won't believe you. The words are soft, huffed out with a laugh. The buzz of the fan overhead makes Rose have to strain to hear him, but the words process and she scoffs. Right, she drawls, threading her fingers through the front of his hair. No one is going to believe that Todd bleaches his hair white. Alright, without further ado, let's hop right in. I'm gonna tell everyone your dirty little secret. They won't believe you. The words are soft, huffed out with a laugh. The buzz of a fan overhead makes Rose have to strain to hear him, but the words process and she scoffs. Right, she drawls, threading her fingers through the front of his hair. No one is going to believe that Todd bleaches his hair white. He exhales sharply, something between amused and annoyed, and she grins. There's mold on the walls and in the corners of the bathtub, and the water in the faucet is nearly unusable. She wouldn't be surprised if it's one of Gotham's nicer hotels. One of Crime Alley's nicer hotels. She's sure there's a richer district, a nicer district, deeper into the city, but they're in the outskirts, away from whatever it is Jason wants to avoid in the first place. I'm dead serious, Jay. Jason sends her a half-hearted glare, mismatched eyes shining with amusement. Todd is dead. He says it so seriously, so monotone that Rose can't help but laugh. It echoes off the tile walls, lingers with the buzz of the light. Thus the white streak, yeah. She removes her hand from his hair, pretends she doesn't see the way he tries to follow it before pulling away. Dramatic fucking ass. His mouth tilts into a smile, crooked and toothy, it doesn't quite meet his eyes. Keeps people from recognizing me. She huffs, rolling her eyes. Right. Putting a white streak in your hair will keep people from recognizing you. As if your face isn't plastered over every news station in Gotham. Are you going to help me, or are you going to keep making fun of me? I can do both, Rose argues. I could break your nose. That'll change your facial features. He gives her an unimpressed look and doesn't graze her with an answer. Rolls his eyes as he looks away. No one's going to care in Texas. Rose hums, grabbing the bleach off the floor and reading the instructions on the back. She's fairly certain doing this wrong will fuck up Jason's hair and scalp, and he could definitely do it by himself, like he clearly has before. But he called, and she came, and that's the end of that. What's in Texas? He's silent for a moment. Supposedly, he starts slowly. Joker. Rose pauses her mixing, eyes glued to her hands. Yeah, of course the clown is what finally gets you out of Gotham. Jason grimaces but stays silent. You're legally dead again. You could do anything. Go back to school or visit Rome like you talked about, or start a boring life in, California? But instead, you chase the fucking Joker. You said it yourself. He argues weakly. My face is known. The world is bigger than Gotham. She spits bitterly. The world is bigger than whatever fucked up reality you've created in your head that revolves around a murder in that shit stain of a city. You're one to talk, he says quietly, a whisper, but the sound carries a million needle points. Where are you going back after this? Back to Slade? Again? What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Seriously? The second time we met, you willingly let him alter your memories for a job because he asked. You want to kill him, sure. But you could never actually bring yourself to do it because some part of you still wants the picture-perfect family he taunts you with. He's put multiple bounties on your head just so he could play the hero and use you. You might hate him, but if Daddy Dearest calls right now saying he needed you and wanted to try again, you'd fucking jump, even though you know it's bullshit. And it's like you want him to manipulate you. Oh, fuck you, she snarls. You get handed a fresh start on a silver platter and keep going back to a jackass that probably hasn't thought about you since he fucking killed you. And you know what? He'd be dead already if you actually wanted him dead. You talk a big talk with your stupid fucking guns and duffel bag full of heads, but you still haven't killed the one jackass that matters. Why are you even here? He asks, and his voice has finally raised, and it has that twinge of sadness at the end of it that always pops up when he gets loud. She doesn't really think Jason is capable of pure, unresolved anger. Not like Slade is. No, his anger is always sadness and grief masked. Like, if he doesn't yell first, then he'll lose whatever upper hand he can get. Like, if he doesn't force an explosion on his own terms, then the vulnerability will shine through and everything will hurt even more. Or maybe he's really angry and Rose is creating excuses for him. You called me, asshole. Yes, he scowls, but you came. Someone's gotta dye your stupid anime hair. You could have said no. Slade's dead, she says suddenly, detached, emotionless, and goes back to mixing the bleach, movement sharp and cutting. By the way. Jason's silent for a moment. I'd say sorry, but that would imply that the world wouldn't be a better place without him. Yeah, she agrees absentmindedly. Good fucking riddance. Did you, Talia? A pause. Good for her. Yeah. The silence lingers. The light buzzes and flickers above them, the air conditioning clicking on and rumbling loudly. Rose aggressively starts applying the bleach onto the front of his hair. I don't care, she says, words clipped. Yes, you do, he shoots back. That's the problem. He sucks ass and he's dead and you're upset about it, but want to spit on his grave all the same. The only thing I'm upset about is that I didn't kill him myself. Bullshit. She glares at him. He glares back. He's still my dad. She doesn't say, but she thinks Jason knows anyway. Knows how much weight that sentence carries, the unspoken hatred and love and trauma and want. The foil crinkles like thunder as she folds them over his hair. And really, after the initial shock of seeing Slade dead, after it set in that it was for good this time, she was happy, still is. Because Slade would never change, not for anyone. Even when he promised he would, but some part of her still hoped he would. Buried beneath the rage and burning need to hurt him like he's hurt her all these years. And then she was angry that Talia put an end to all of it, not her. But she also thinks, when everything else is quiet and her whispering thoughts sound like shouts, that her killing Slade would be another tally in his win column. In some fucked up way, he'd still win. He always wins. Except this time, because he's fucking dead. She's tired of caring. And in all that, she caught a whiff of the news, the headlines that Red Hood was dead. And something in her nearly snapped. I thought you were dead, she finally says. Quietly, and it lingers in the space between them, heavy and dense. They aren't even that close, and Jason's a fucking asshole, but something snapped, and Harvey Dent or Amanda Waller, or both, would probably be dead right now if he hadn't called when he had. Jason doesn't say anything, but his gaze flickers as he looks up at her through his lashes. He shifts, his hands hovering over her hips for a moment as if waiting to be swatted away. His arms wrap around her waist the minute hers wrap around his neck, bearing her face in his hair. Jason presses his face against her chest, holding her tightly. I'm not dead, he says simply, words thick in his throat. No shit, asshole, she snaps, an unsteady grin. Just so you're aware. I swear to God, I'll kill you myself. Jason huffs out a laugh. That sounds like a lovely experience. Freak. She tugs at his hair and he pinches at her side in retaliation. I take it back. You can be dead. Too late. You're dyeing my anime hair. You're in too deep. The only option is to run off to Texas and kill the Joker with me. How romantic. A soft laugh. Jason tilts his head up just enough to look her in the eyes, a smile hidden in her chest. The foil crinkling quietly as it shifts against her shirt. He whispers, Thanks for coming. Yeah, well, she shrugs one shoulder, glancing away. Next time you should take me out somewhere nicer than a shady hotel. Alright, and that is the end of And Then There's You by Hey It's Save. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you next video.